Rene flops a failed experimental anime. I often don't watch the anime for the sake of finding something new with it. Not that to say something new in the anime doesn't mean the anime can fulfill those thing that those concept that the anime set up, lay up like Rene Flop does. I appreciate the fact that Rene Flops try a lot of things, struck down, throw down a lot of ideas, set a new era for modern harem anime. Truly, the anime that tried and failed. Rene Flops, cursed and blessed of passione. Rene Flops the second half reflection special. Today I really appreciate passione that try to make Rene Flops and I made it truly distinct, truly different from the other anime. Set up a harem, a genre that people hate, a genre that people hope, that people like. It is a sandbox of the anime, the Minecraft of the anime, the genre that everything can be made of. Science fiction's franchise, bunch of visual novel adaptation. Many of my favorite anime is from the harem genre. But how many times are there will be the anime that is trying something new and succeed at the execution, succeed at writing? I will not appreciate the anime that is try and fail, because every anime in the existence of in the existence or on my anime list that try and fail score less than 7. All of them has try and fail. Happy Sugar Life, Rene Flops also be the case, but it is not all flops. It is not all a failure. Truly the parts that there is truly the parts that is good in Rene Flops, and the abandonment of the concept of Rene Flops, mini shortcomings is also there. So I wouldn't say all of them good. But what Rene Flop did is the fact that Rene Flop set the role model of a modern harem anime, what should be, to make it more than Rene Flops. That is what I will appreciate of Rene Flops. There's no other character than I in Rene Flops. There will be no spoiler at first until I say so. Start reflection of Rene Flops. This reflection I try to cover all episode after episode 7 and on of Rene Flops, the anime. Warn that all of the points here is not all up to date. Show the transformation of thoughts between watch each second minutes episode of Rene Flops. As I say later on, I will say thoughts when I am at episode 11 of Rene Flops, that Rene Flops is not a masterpiece. Perfection anime I don't recommend to those people who seek those things in art forms. Rather than Rene Flops is a failed experimental anime that failed to harmonize, utilize harem genre to the end, create half-baked, roughly pit anime count the second half of Rene Flops. This anime is just near decent, but lower. For the whole anime to only conclude about certain ideas, but other thing else, just fuck it. That's probably the best way to describe Rene Flops. This is the last classes information when I watch Rain and Flops episode 11, as there is a text when I watch a few episodes in. I do not recommend anyone to want to watch Rain and Flops anymore, especially people who want something that well realized and actually masterpiece, which kind of recommend people who don't focus on the anime being a masterpiece, but it is an experimental, although concept of Rene Flops isn't that genius either, ended as a failure experimental. Harem, a sandbox of anime genre. As a professional harem anime watcher, I am obligated to reflecting Rene Flops to some level, as I promised something happened in Rene Flop. I kind of hit the jackpot, but not quite. This anime have been deceived me. I said this anime feels like my imagination when I was new to the industry of the anime. Now it is beyond my imagination. I have imagined something haremish but advanced, like this deep with the theories, deep stuff, but this is going to be beyond what I expected. And at last, got into the loop of harem genre of just a weeb otaku. Each type of imagination ended as being novelty. I might reflect more about it in past episode, as I am not paying much of the attention. This is one of the few time in my life that do something, choose something that results come out right. That is Rene Flops become an anime that has a lot of hidden message from the backstory. This is just what I think first, and then Rene Flops slowly come diminish, subtracting itself to the one concept about all of them other things. After episode 7, Rene Flops became an anime that goes pretty real for explanation. For since first episode, there is explanation of or stuff that happened in, and Rene Flops became a real experience, interesting experience in the anime. That's fine. Many ideas, concept of life, and I Asahi AI uplift the anime relationship between the two people. Though I am not a fan of kick the series viewers out in the first half, I am suckers for the second half. Though many ideas abandoned, I still love the ending of Rene Flops. I think Rene Flops should not be the big thing, like it introduced the ideas from since episode 6. If you're gonna watch the first half or even skip the first half to episode 7, I think it's decent for Rene Flops. It's okay to skip this anime, but the second half has something that worthwhile. Now getting into more depth spoiler region, what I want to call it, but it really just more unrestricted talked a little bit more to the story of Rene Flops. Say the first half isn't completely worthless, because many of what happened in there's tidbits hinted complete nonsense backstory, or the realm that includes many nonsense now start making sense as we are looking back. Although the events and culture does not continue, but rather being abandoned by the concept of I and Asahi to the concept of I and Asahi abandon other character. Though you could say the first half is almost completely useless unless you want to try slowly trying to understand the Rene Flop world and make yourself familiar with Rene Flops first before come into watch the second half. Though I am not a person, I say this first, I'm not a person who judge thing, and or I have the skills to judge that much. I would talk often about the shift that happened, its idea thing that changed, because it's big part of why I like Rene Flops now, and its inevitability when I talked about it. I think the shift in Rene Flops is not the sun, without any explanation or change, without planning. Sudden change were disputable is in. In fact, Rene Flops playing a lot of symbolic of hints. For the last few episodes, we have been theorized it a lot before too, and the shift to the story between Asahi and the science of Rene Flops is not that average and makes sense in Rene Flops' world. What's wrong with Rene Flops' first half is probably the fact that Rene Flops play around throwing a lot of the symbolism and hint too much that there must be something at the second half, which there is. In the process, discard the enjoyment of the viewers in the first half. I think Rene Flops could be fun in first half too, if they're really focusing on really making it into a memory that Asahi and the viewer visually have fun and remember it as being part of Rene Flops, that doesn't only shifted, twisted in the second half, but consistently good, without shock in the drama, which second half of Rene Flops isn't really used to. That makes second half of Rene Flops a bit weak, considering first half really throwing around shit. That's why I can't really say Rene Flops wants to make this anime masterpiece fully, because I see the whole anime, not just first or second half. Gotta give it that Rene Flops quite paid a lot of attention to the world building and details between the story. Visual storytelling succeeded. As a visual storytelling, Rene Flops put in a lot of weird gimmick that doesn't mean anything to the story. Probably trying to make the anime feels weird, distorted, but doesn't necessarily. There's little reminiscence scenes between VR to real world. Story sequences detail those little speaker technology website, room of fanwin, color palette of real world and VR or technology invented quite more than ordinary of this kind of sci-fi anime, probably because this anime is heavily run the anime on basis of world building and this little detail as main elements of what with creator director think that these little details would be one of the main function that remarks people Rene Flops. Some character in the ending theme appears, and these little details fit into changing ending theme, or each of the scene that object used in the anime before, like the speaker, still exists, or the soundtrack added in the second half of new ending theme added this little detail that added might be what made Rene Flops rewarding people that paid attention and think with it. This anime is one of the few that I enjoy. Its world building, exposition, some AI backstory, how each AI came to be the company that people using AI in the background observe. Somewhat scene of normal life of people that the anime fit into. It's fun to speculate what this AI do, where Rene Flops and think with it. Although this concept didn't really continue to the ending or else. Character Fuzzy seems self-insert enough. Quite funny that if you dive deeper into Asahi background of AI that he didn't come to school after I died, in many of his action is quite genius writing to Asahi to be have self-inserts mean the fact that he have his part of his own personality will allow other character to shine. By being hollow character whilst you have some personality sense, this could be seen as a loose writing, not solid enough of a character, and it's not wrong. So look at Yoshinofian Man. We also see her background affiliated with Doctor Father of I, and her character as being somewhat cold towards human emotion as she conducts experiments she learned more about human emotion on Carter part despite having a few scene it could be looked deeper into. I commend this part. One thing I find not fair or balance as a harem genre in Rene Flaps. Every girls in Rene Flaps has one episode to expand on their character. Only Aoi gave chances to explore story as a whole and unveil a lot of secrets. I will criticize a lot of the harem genre aspect as a whole a lot in the reflection later on. If one thing fall in love with I, Carter, even in the world of virtual reality, AI doesn't need to make it feels real enough or reasonable or interesting. But that's the point. First half of Rene Flops is not creative in joke, in progression, in the structure of each episode. First half kicks the viewer out. Doesn't matter if the fact that it was in virtual reality. Another thing I find that effect of the first half to the second half, the girls in harem that has problem like Medikuko, Monkfa, Assassin, or Emilia want to learn the language. These are all not being used later on for the purpose of shaping each character. Is from the same mold, just like a little different bases. Personality Emilia suddenly know about how to hack or a system of VRO. These things happen made characters seem somewhat hollow and unreal, and unreasonable developments in terms of story elements in the world of Rainy Flops, of how each character suddenly have the power to do stuff, abandoning the character development, the development of the world building, how each character suddenly have the power that they have had. Unless Corinne, who just also got abandoned her power as opposed to others, as her need the lust for character to get the power, and other character got abandoned the logic of the world of how their power just came to be, which make me less enjoy the last fights of Rene Flops to Aoi anyway. I don't want to say much, but Rene Flop just flow in the loop of many harem anime like Irene. Accept herself to be woman. She accept herself to be woman, ended up being the character that only do is whining, and there was, well, I am still see character of Asahi and Yoshino somewhat have something to the AI girls robots gang lacked the kind of characterization depth I see in Asahi or Yoshino, which AI girls should be main part of it make us follow along in the anime. AI robot girls are, like in the anime says, that they are created to taste the systems. Just an AI that has emotion doesn't truly have the complexion of humanity, or that is what Rene Fluffs aim for, to make us see that these girls are not truly human. That is kind of genius, though I don't enjoy this, even the character that is the core of events that happen in the second half of Rene Flops. Aoi, we still don't know much about Aoi or even see her drama as the same other AI, other than she gets Asahi home first episode, which is kinda sad. Saguraso or Saigano is a good example of harem anime that still good at managing uses of the character that will pass their own wraith. Already for Rene Flops is lacked of even the most basic of what are AI girls, AI robots girls doing that even contribute something that to use later on their own identity of a story of what happened. Not to count later on, not even pit reasonable uses of this character. The characters are just being hollow personality. Let Irene just whining Emily is intelligent for some reason. Corin tried to lose her virgin. That's what I think. Before watching episode 10 of Rene Flops, I have accepted I was partly wrong. Each of the characters is based on AI Asahi. Characters based on I human. Asahi childhood friend as each of them growth to become themselves, using part of memories of I grow in the different direction and feeling that strongly resonates different part of I. For example, in manga cases of protecting one's life, of fighting for one's life. What I did not say wrong is the fact that first half still being cramped of the same formula visual problem in Rene Flops is that it's plain despite many visual gimmick being established in Rene Flops. Fight scene in Rene Flops has Sakige in it, which exponentially upgrade with manga fight. My reaction on Rene Flops content of the reflection is produced while the anime is not finished right now. aired episode 11, so expect there to be something wrong. First, I will update if I find something I say wrong, completely wrong about Rene Flops, not maintain, carry on I character, or being subtle about the character, not the most perfect way to carry on in each character, or if I were to be mean, I would say lazily right. Quite decent way, I think, of Rene Flop's character. Now, after I watch episode 11, I character right to be the base of part of I's feeling, or each part of memory. Each has own theme. The way Rene Flop's right character remind me of my own methods of writing extremely familiar. Each has their own character theme that fought to get to Aoi, different in its background. But if real look into it has the same formula in for AI that I assume died in the fight, no character actually really distinct in terms of way of writing, only persona, background, and theme. But what happened to these characters for me? Not, I do not expect much of them. I think it's decent not to be criticized that much too. Compared to the first arc drama, I think I quite enjoy the conclusion of character of for AI Girl. Hope they came back alive though at the end, which it does, which I don't really care which teaching and theme of each character growth in Rene Flops. Some will definitely say cheesy. For me, I am okay with it without thinking it's good or bad. For example, Emilia character. I am interested into having AI memory of Ozzy soothing her. She, as an AI, she learned language of Japanese, growth into more mature person as a result of helping Ozzy escape with her power and guide him away. She also teach him something to growth as well as Irene, which I just bluff. I just raving, trying to deceive myself that I like this character because really I can't find anything that to be like about this character at all at the time, and I trying to like this character. However, I still don't like writing that things or only able to write the drama as a story as a character trait. It's like the fighting anime that only has fights in the Rene Flops. It's revolutionary in terms of concept that try to utilize harem genre as a base. But in terms of harem genre, I am talking about its harem genre that exists, only drama exists, and all the Jake. That all that is to in character we see interact, having a great concept, build up doesn't matter. Doesn't mean you could bypass other aspects, make other aspects smaller, having a fighting stuff, rabbit stuff, world building stuff, and having the harem character aspect. It's separated quite clear. So if you want to have everything, but you don't think it's gonna look somewhat great, at the end, consider something else. When I watched the anime, I watched the whole of it, and at last, my brain can't ignore something. I looked the whole picture. It made me furious about hollow cheesy dialogue that this anime offers, trying to make me satisfied with the anime. And don't start with me talking about the fact that concept ideas of this anime is loosely mixed. This harem anime mixed with the movie type action mixed with other harem theme like Mahou Shoujo, trying to be big sci-fi she's ended up with the character she's struck in trying to so hard to put the weird ritual gimmicks to make the anime look different, but that doesn't mean anything though, and it's waste of the screen time and a waste of time for me. It is not as nicely mixed as, to say, Infinite Stratos that makes sweet edgy make a genre, or classroom of elite Yokoso Kyojisue something that somewhat has harem classroom theme mixed with mind game nicely. Hard to say, but somewhat in real life just roughly states this theme. And so faithfully will throw it in the anime just to be various. Trying to be various, trying to be everything, but fail at everything. And the anime just sticks to the formula too much, doesn't even care about the reasons anymore. You can't easily catch any convenience going on in the anime to create some certainty, certain twitch situations and events. Doesn't even means to happen the scene. Just sometimes skips how the character goes from point A to point B. What is this thing that happen? How each character transform? These basics logic that make the world real, and at the end just doesn't care about all of them. So we now know that Ryan Flops isn't serious with trying to really change, because ended up cheap. Trying to really be an experimental anime that only go so far with the budget, and trying to get the viewer in just the end for what reason I don't know. The scenes of Emilia, she could go with Asahi to the hole in the library because they can't go in, or how Emilia can fight that much robots amount that Yuri and Korean can fight, or that they can't go past this anymore, that Asahi go past the path. If so, why do they fight? This is just me nitpicking. I mean, not wrong about it. Just find something to nitpick about Real Flops, which I find many situation unreasonable. I find many situation has a lot of the plot which doesn't matter about Real Flops anymore, since Real Flops isn't really truly trying to be something real, distinct, trying to be experimental. I say this the millionth time to empathize the lore of Real Flops, of these robots. We are for lore of its backstory of AI. They create the anime. People that sees this think this anime is genius, and I agree that lore is interesting, but don't regret this. But don't forget, this anime is, we see the situation that happened mainly, and Lene Fobbs fails to deliver any excitement to me, and hints of the stuff detail of lore is another decoration, doesn't make me wet. Although it is a movie, still is animation movie, anime movies from Japan, if you would say. But the director is refused to say their own movie is an anime movie. Of Ghibli, say Spirits Away, we don't know a thing about lore of it. Just a glimpse of Japanese culture. Still, when I grow older and watch Spirit Away, still fascinated about it, and try to think about the logic of what happened, what is these things in the movie, because Spirited Away focus on what happened more, construct and what we see more. Don't be glutton. Rene Flaps. I kind of understand what Rene Flaps wants to do now, compared to image Rene Flaps gave me when trying to understand Rene Flaps. Rene Flaps mix up things, hoping it to make all of them being new, fresh, dumb, fun. Harem genre which later on struck everything into a weird visual gimmick of harem, visual mix of harem, but it doesn't work in harmony with each other. Ended up as being plain visual fail experimental that doesn't extend good into one way. Rene Flaps' director might think that the anime with one genre in the present is boring. Sure, the anime with few genres slice of life, kill girl, doing kill thing, or action adventure, this kind of anime might seem boring, but it is necessary to maintain harmony of the element in the anime. I think Rene Flaps is worse than the anime with few genre. For example, Nurarian Covenant that ended up being not as exciting, but still try something. And I still like it. I mostly don't say a thing about uniqueness of the anime because often the uniqueness of the anime is from the fact that based on luck, based on the anime is a pure art, and we could say that the whole entirety of the anime is subjective and can't be touched. As the same as everything in real world, we judge a thing to make sense of it, to do something of it. I feel the same about the anime that we judge the anime based on our experience. It's almost impossible to be it's possible to talk about the anime in terms of judging things of what happened, of why you don't like something, or why you like something. I will not try to say things like this anime is not for everybody, it is freaking pretty. Those words are I don't like the words, the sentence, this anime is not for everybody, kaiji is not for everybody, which in my first video everyone just hates me for it, which completely fine. But if you're gonna say this anime is for everybody, then can I criticize the anime? Can I watch the anime that you say this anime is not for everybody? Can I watch it? Like, everyone should watch any anime. No anime is for anyone else. For a particular one, like, you watch it and you try to like it. You try to see if something you like about the anime or something you at first don't like, and trying to like and understand and like it. And so that's probably the thing I don't like about this anime is not for everybody that people say about. That's why I don't like talking about the more anime people think that it is good and a lot of people watch it. It's hard to find a people who is reasonable enough to discuss it. And I am digress. So the uniqueness of the anime is a thing that I don't really know how to the gauge of it, how to judge, how to anything, but I have an idea of the anime that really unique and know how to make it work and know how to do it. The real uniqueness of the anime comes naturally from um, again and again. The writers comes from the skills writer that hone their craft again and again, that don't really try to be unique, but it's come out of itself, or the director instead of the writer, and or the complete cast, complete story. um, like Ping Pong, the animation, people say unique. The Masaki Yuasa stuff, that people would say unique because he somehow know how to do his piece of work in his own way that didn't really resonate with the others, that the others people. And and I would not say that is uh yet I would not say it is unique, because he because different people, like somehow you know how to write an isekai novel, say, like something like the the shoe hero, for example. You know how to write novel that way, and and you write it that way, and it comes out as being a standard um, novel, light novel, in the eyes of many people. But somehow I find something different in that light novel, not the shoe hero. I say this novel about Exodus game, that novel called Extas Online, ECTAS Online. This novel seems completely normal enough in the entire genre of the anime, and something that comes out. This light novel called Extas Online, based on a person who write Hot X Hybrid series before, and and when it comes to the uniqueness of it, I find something that is of value, of interesting, of the thing that happened in the light novel, that people completely say it's normal, it's cliche or something, and find something that is interesting, that I completely know his own style, and I see it as he completely utilized the elements that is already has in the standards, and utilize it more to be completely fucked up harem genre, completely VR world, completely stupid and quite fun. So it's hard for me, as I am really my mind very convoluted about these ideas and many things else. Otherwise, these ideas of what is the real uniqueness in the anime. When it comes to Rene Flops, it's I think the uniqueness in Rene Flops isn't really real, as all I say. I don't know the words of it, but like the Rene Flops faking its uniqueness, trying to have a visual weird gimmicks as hollow as it is, trying to have something um, that is different, that is distinct, trying to make this anime weird as possible. Doesn't and it doesn't comes naturally when and ended really cheap of Rene Flops, trying to be distinct but don't know how to do it, trying to mix everything up, trying to put everything on the anime without really know how to make it work, and hope and pray for it to make it work with at the end it somehow can be like the toys, like the Gundam stuff that I didn't know about, trying to put it together, trying to assemble it together to create a pieces, and at the end it can be created to be a series of anime. But it is a series that just put the thing that you didn't know, just put the thing that you didn't really have a plan to what to do with it, just put everything on, and ended up as being half baked, as being work, but it's just a broken pieces that somehow like a course. It is a course. Rene Flops is a course that assemble together pieces by pieces, don't know which work, just put it together somehow, and it's kind of work, like the one wheels, maybe two wheels work on this course, and there's no doors, there's no anything else, there's no roof, and 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 just get this car to go on the roads in, and in the middle of the roads that this car called Rene Flaps goes, because it doesn't have a roof, it doesn't have the glasses, when it found itself onto the real pinch, and got in the storm, let's say it's a storm, the conflict of Rene Flaps, it is broken. The core, the people who piloted, the director, just don't know how to get across these drums, and at the end just cut the chorus in half, and then go on to the drums, and then and then somehow he get past the drum because of the light weight, and it is now left just one wheels. The director again repair the chorus entirely new, and somehow made it work, somehow got 4 views, somehow got maybe 3 views together, and made it at the end, and then the car broken. That's probably the base metaphor of Rene Flops I could come up with right now, and so it's a uniqueness of the anime that is just the real charms of the anime. It's just a fake pieces of art, as I would say. It's just a metaphorical of mine, but in many anime that there is many unique anime like Sunny Boys comes up, right? That anime say about the socials, the metaphorical of the school. He the director of Madhouse, I don't know which, I don't remember because I watched it kind of long ago and pick it up again. And director or people who write the script, people who make, probably the director, I believe, of the Rene Flops, who made the entire who write the script for Sunny Boys, doesn't, as I see, doesn't really trying to be trying to put every element, this scientist, this anything, this Iceland, this monkey, on for no reason. Everything else has, like the Sunny Boy, if you see the core ideas of it, the core's idea of Sunny Boy, of social stuff, of there is the tyranny, there is the people who and the social stuff. The core idea of Sunny Boy is really basics, as we have seen throughout our life. This schools boys, you go out of the schools, and this will be no spoiler of Sunny Boy, by the way, but you go on to the school, you go to, and the world is vast, more vast as you go on, more convoluted. There's this, there's the people that the world just go on vaster and vaster, larger and larger. You see the um you see, as you see, first you think that you live like 10 years old. You live like 10 years old and think that, oh, it is hard, it is really hard to live 10 years before, and see people who live like 100 years. And there's the ideas of the there's the ideas of the socials that try to pin one people for their falseness. There's the ideas of basically the Carter idea, many ideas that is the same, that we have seen before millions time, and trying to assemble it together, trying to mix it together and create more. This is probably what Sunny Boy is about, that I've watched. And the result is really as you see the fruits of it, do not see the roots. As you see the fruits of what is Rene Frapp, from not from the ideas of it, you see a lot of this weird of this what happened about, like the ideas of I really like the ideas of hikikomori in Rene Flapp in Sunny Boys, that you could not go out, you, like, people see you outside, that is freeze, but indeed you are moving forward. It's just the social's eyes that judge you. This kind of ideas, this kind of social stuff in Rene Flapp's that Sunny Boys, that I have seen really interesting for me. Still, when Sunny Boy complete its missions as being an anime by having the villain having the process of the story, that is the core, that is what anime is, still being enjoyed and still being convoluted, but enjoy, but unique. What is unique about Sunny Boys that I see, that is real about Sunny Boy, that is not faking? It's like the each of the components, like sure, the director have the ideas to do, but some is forgot. It I'm sure it doesn't put in so nonchalantly and purposely put in each of the ideas, like the other world, the escapees, the Iceland of what it is. Many things have put in to for some purpose of socials, which consistently use for sarcastics to the socials to comment on it, as many ideas has been put in and also consistently used in Sunny Boys. The vicious elements that has the Rajahi, something of the guys that is really not a scientist in Sunny Boy, has his own creation of something. And this other world, there's the blue fire, which I am not know about it. I am sure there is some meaning about it, but as I see, I am not a person that completely analyze everything in the anime. But something like you go from the schools to the Iceland. Some people has the superpower, and A lot of them I know the meaning of it, and I understand Sunny Boys quite the basics level. But this is just me in the script trying to be trying to live trying to go without the script because I remember something that is interesting about Rene Flaps that I want to say. Now go on to the script once again. Mixing entire genre of the anime or put a lot of exciting creativity concept not utilizing it is what fails in Rene Flops lower than average in most aspect of Rene Flops. Rene Flops is not an anime brimming with dream. Brimming with dream, mixing everything roughly only make me noticing every irritating elements that unfinished roughly pit. The way this anime wrap up kind of remind me of anime or animation by Studio China called To Be Hero. To Be Hero, where first story seems dumb as over time goes into deeper concept. Ending is for me quite disappointing, but a bit astonished as he left for I. The ending isn't entirely happy or sad or bad. I disappear, but AI girls come back. That is robots, and after just ended the world building as he moved on with his life. AI robots girls just being part of AI, but of I human, but isn't entirely of the roles of I AI robots just being part of I human rather than their own character, which is quite disappointing. Seems still ending is unfinished while Aoi doesn't have any roles, she just seems to have some vital role, but anime cut charts. For the whole anime to only conclude about AI roles, but other thing else I human roles, but other thing else, just fuck it. That's probably the best way to describe Rene Flops. Okay, but disappointed. The anime doesn't expand further than what I think would be from AI technology, world changing over Asian war to relationship between Asahi and I human, which this part of the stories isn't bad. Trying to be more than harem, anime ended with the romantic drama that at the very end ended with harem, which its character just hollow. And I ask again, what the fuck is Aoi? Why is she seem important? But not, she is just AI, just I human substitute. Added that Aoi seems to later on be in the name icon symbolism of AI technology and to be I substitute of AI robots seems to be I substitute seems to be the icon seems to be substitute as the roles of I human rather than being Aoi herself. We didn't really know her own personality as she is just kind, as we say, nor that the other character shines much anyway. Whole Friend Flop just created prepared for the ending seemed like that AI exists because of I, death, relationship of two Asahi and I human, start and stop with I human, and start again with AI being part of it. I human being part. Many things of Random Flops didn't continue, which I don't care about. Because I didn't like this anime that much in the first place. Like flops is a word used to measure computer, and it's on the title for love. Of I emotion, of I human emotion, which should be something more related to the anime better, which seems AI human character take over the anime, not just the end. Overall, other character exists from I human AI robots. Like our personality got overtaken by I human for the whole purpose of its character. I mean, it's not wrong. At least add something to the character more. Spring of the sword and many concept symbolism nice in right flops. That uses a many visual as a visual concept, visual storytelling. This is the elements Rene Flop succeeded at. There is some weird gimmick that appears for the sake of making the anime more lively and weird, which is not working. But it's real symbolism that ties to something that happened, whether it is seasons, spring, sakura tree, cherry blossom tree appear in the end at the beginning of something. There is also some symbolism that too deep for me to understand, or a whole say said too great, like butterflies represent Mongfu, Irene, Amelia, basically robots in the end, or butterflies that is show as a direction. I don't understand what it is. Maybe butterfly might mean beautiful, led to the new hope. I don't understand because Oi Carter also part of my memory about beginning, about wanting to do something in the future. No need to say something about classic convenient of all times. No one's dies except human AI robots. No AI human die, which at the end I quite surprised. I human that die, which quite bold decisions that didn't matter because I didn't care about the character what we have in Rainy Flops, because Rainy Flops hurt itself, abandoned a lot of the big concept. I still okay, but to be harem anime that abandoned its character quite pathetic. I don't want to be mean about the scores because I rarely see the anime and the anime that try to get off box with many shots coming despite some genius overarching scenario screenplay. I think a lot about the score to give Rainy Flops. This probably describe what Rainy Flops is the best scores of Rainy Flop is. So too good, roughly. And there is a message that sadly didn't make it to the middle of the video because I lost the save files, many things imperfect. It comes when it comes. Many inconveniences happen in the production of this video.